Hey guys, welcome to our vlog. Today, we're gonna ask some strangers about indigenous art. Let's go!
Hey, pare. May tatanong lang ako.
Ano yun?
What are the first things that pop up in your head when you hear the word indigenous art in the Philippines?
Una kong naisip, kultura.
Okay, goods naman. Sagot ka.
Kuya, ano po bang naisip nyo pag narinig nyo yung indigenous art?
Yung indigenous art, hindi ko masyadong maisip. Ano ibig mo sabihin sa indigenous art?
Indigenous art po, yun po yung mga gawa ng mga tribe galing dito sa Philippines. Kagaya nila Wangod.
Oh.
Yun po.
Yung tribe noong unang panahon, di ba?
Opo.
Noong unang panahon sa hirap ng buhay,
Opo.
sa dami ng art na nagawa nila, sana ngayon ma-develop ng yung ganong talent, ma-discover pa lalo. Yun lang.
Thank you po, Kuya. The arts offer a special glimpse into the experience and beliefs of other current and past cultures. The arts of indigenous peoples have ranged from functional works, decorations, of ceremonial items, illustrations of lore and history to modern twist of a visual language rooted in culture.
What are the first things that pop up in your head when you hear the word indigenous art in the Philippines? Tradition. What are your thoughts and feelings about the indigenous art in our country?
My opinion about indigenous arts is very important in our country dahil ito ay gawa nating ancestors kaya dapat itong palagaan at ingatan para malaman ito ng mga bagong generations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We must watch out that our admiration and enthusiasm for indigenous arts does not become an appropriation as we become more aware of them. Over time, all artistic study is employed to create a unique artistic voice, never to imitate the work of others.
How do you think indigenous art can be preserved even with the threat of globalization?
Against the threat of globalization, I think we should prioritize in teaching the preservation of indigenous art sa mga magdagdag pa ng mga subject para mas magkaroon ng kaalaman ng mga estudyante.
The study of indigenous art can lead to new perspective and discussion on our interaction with contemporary society.
What are your thoughts and feelings about indigenous art in our country?
The first thing that comes into my mind about indigenous art in our country is that although it is recognized, most of it is forgotten nowadays.
How do you think indigenous art can be preserved even with the threat of globalization?
One way of preserving indigenous art is by continuing to teach them in schools, especially to our younger generations, and also by having exhibits, not just in museums and such, but also in schools, since students can engage with them more physically.
What are your thoughts and feelings about the indigenous art in our country?
So for me, yung indigenous art sa country natin is nakakalimutan na, especially in our generation. Kaya I'm grateful na there's some subject like SIPAR na nag-help to promote and preserve this kind of art forms.
What are the first things that pop up in your head when you hear the word indigenous art in the Philippines?
The first things that pop up in my head whenever I hear the word indigenous things or arts in the Philippines is that traditional and nationalistic. And being traditional is something that it is passed down from our ancestors to the current generation, and nationalistic because it came from the very heart, and our descendants are the descendants of the Filipinos created it and started it, so it is very nationalistic for me.
By making the indigenous art accessible to the public through museums, exhibits, and other public events, we can safeguard and maintain it despite the threat of globalization. In order to educate pupils on the danger that globalization poses against our culture, it should also be incorporated into the school curriculum.
Artistic voice. Never to imitate the word artist.
Uy, ba't ganun ka?
So yung mahapan, pag-English.
Your thoughts and feelings about the Indigenous
Sila, wait lang, pwede ba umulit? Oh my God.
Ikaw pare, anong alam mo sa Indigenous art?